It's another beautiful night for baseball. Tonight we're in Ripon for Ripon American Legion Baseball as Ripon and Berlin square off. I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play for the Ripon American Legion Post number 43 on YouTube. Thanks to our sponsors this season, Walsworth, the Ripon Area School District, and Hometown Broadcasting. Also to the Wirtz Law Office for your support of Ripon American Legion Baseball this season. Ripon is coming off a 10-9 walk-off loss this past Wednesday night against Green Lake, dropping Ripon to a 1-5 record in the season. This is the first meeting between Ripon and Berlin this season. Starters tonight for Berlin as they'll be up to batting first, playing shortstop, number 10, Brock Wildy. Number 7, pitching, Wyatt Hammersma. Number 5, playing center field, Hunter Bowe. Number 3, playing second base, Landon Collada. Number 23, playing third base, Brady Abitz. Number 21, playing first base, Taylor Krieger. Number 8, catching, Luke Buddy. Number 12, playing left field, Landon Keller. And wrapping up the lineup for Berlin, playing right field, Max Sontag. Berlin coached by Mike Webb, managed by Mike Webb, coached by Jess Johnson. So we're just about ready to get things underway here. Weather here tonight, like I said, beautiful night. Temperatures about 77 degrees with about a 7-mile-an-hour wind out of the west-northwest. Right now our flag out in center field, not fluttering much. So first batter up, Brock Wildy, as he steps into the batter's box, and the first pitch he takes, hits that out to left center field, and Gannon Stelmacher out there makes the catch for out number 1. So starting out with a out right away. Stelmacher reels that one in. Brings up Wyatt Hammersma. Hammersma pitching. And the pitch from Willett. That'll come back to the fence. Bit of a wild pitch, and ball 1 for Hammersma. Willett with the next pitch. And 2 balls, no strikes now to Hammersma. Willett with the next pitch. And that one bounced foul for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Wyatt Hammersma. Waiting for the pitch. That one's high and makes it a 3-ball, 1 strike count. So Hammersma will step back into the box and wait for the pitch from Henry Willett. And the ball outside, going to give Hammersma a base on balls. Brings up Hunter Bowe. Hunter Bowe playing center field tonight. Might remember that name from high school basketball. Hunter plays for Berlin, and I don't know if Hunter was a senior last year or not. I didn't get a chance to go back and look at my records to find out. So the pitch by Willett goes back to the fence, and that's going to send Hammersma down to second base on the wild pitch. So ball 1 to Bowe. On deck, Landon Collada. And a strike. First strike that Willett's been able to get across the plate tonight. He's got 1 out. Runner at second base, and Bo at the plate with 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. And that's going to be popped up, and Bach gets under it. He gets that for the second out of the top of the first inning. Trying to fight off the sun, and that ball came down almost right on first base. So that'll bring up Landon Collada, second baseman. Brady Abitz on deck. Two outs, runner at second. Abitz at the plate. Collada at the plate. And the ball high. 1 ball, no strikes. Shadow's getting a little bit long on the field as the sun goes down. And Willett checks the runner at second. And the pitch. And another ball to Collada. Hammersma on second base for Berlin. Call themselves the Redlegs. And Willett with the pitch. That's going to be fouled down the first baseline. That'll send Hammersma back to second, as he was headed for third on the hit. So 2 balls, 1 strike on the foul ball. No runs across for Ripon or Berlin yet. This is the top of the first inning, and ball 3 issued by Willett. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runner at second, and 2 outs. Once again, Willett checks the runner at second, and the pitch. And a strike over the outside edge. So full count now to Collada. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We've been fortunate this year to have good weather for all of our games so far this season. And the next pitch, and a swing and a miss. That's going to be out number 3. So Willett retires the side. And at the end of the first half inning of play, it's Berlin nothing. Ripon coming to the plate. Getting ready to start the bottom of the first inning. First batter up for Ripon will be Mason Killam. Plays second base. He'll be followed by pitcher Henry Willett. On the mound for Berlin is Wyatt Hammersma. And the first pitch to Killam. A strike. Killam leading things off for Ripon, and 1-1 now the count. A nice Ripon crowd out here tonight. And fouled that one away for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count now to Killam. Mason steps back into the box. He waits for the pitch from Hammersma and fouls that one back. Another ball or another strike. Count will hold at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Killam not afraid to swing at the ball. None of the Ripon batters are, for that matter. And this one hit right up the middle, and shortstop pulls that one in, fires it over to first base for out number 1. As that'll bring up Henry Willett. So 1 out, nobody on base. Willett at the plate. Connor Diedrich on deck for Ripon. Willett ready to take the pitch from Hammersma. And he hits that one. That's a bouncer down to third base line, and that's going to be foul. So strike 1 to Willett. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. First year doing Ripon American Legion Baseball on stream on YouTube. And the ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Willett. And apparently it must have grazed him because he sent him down to first base on a hit by pitcher. So Ripon will take that, and Diedrich comes to the plate. Brett Bach on deck for Ripon. So runner at first, 1 out, and Diedrich at the plate. And Diedrich fouls that away for strike 1. Those of you that may be at the game and watching the game on your mobile device, we thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And the pitch, and that's going to come back, and wild pitch is going to send Willett to second base. So puts runner in scoring position for Ripon. Diedrich now with 1 ball, 1 strike. Diedrich waits for the pitch from Hammersma. 1 out, runner at second. That's Willett. And a high pitch for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count now to Diedrich. Pretty much the whole left field fence with Ripon spectators. This is the only park, I believe, that they can pull right up and a pop-up. And the right fielder comes in to field that one, and that one's going to be reeled in for out number 2 as Brett Bach will step up to the plate after the fly out to right field by Diedrich. Henry Willett at second base. Scoring position, Brett Bach gets ready to face Hammersma. Hammersma gets ready with the first pitch to Bach. And that's hit out to right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Willett's going to round third, and it gets past the right fielder. Willett comes in standing up for the first run of the ball game. Ripon leads here in the bottom of the first inning, 1-0. Bach with the base hit. He's at first, and that'll bring up Jacob Riddick. Riddick playing right field for Ripon tonight. Riddick has played several positions this year: right field, left field, third base, and pitcher. And the pitch. Called a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Jacob Riddick. 2 outs. Brett Bach at first base. And Hammersma with the pitch and a swing and a miss by Riddick. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Riddick. Bottom of the first inning, Ripon leads 1-0 on the base hit and RBI by Brett Bach as Willett came across to score from second base. And this one going to be a high pop-up, and Hammersma will call it. And that'll be out number 3. But at the end of one complete inning of play, Ripon leads it 1-0 on a base hit and RBI by Brett Bach.
Hometown Radio is your local source for news, weather, and sports. Tune in and team up every weekday morning on WRPN with Bob Nelson to find out what's happening in your area.
Back here at Ripon's Barlow Park, ready to get the top of the second inning underway. Berlin coming to the plate. It'll be Brady Abitz. Abitz plays third base. And a strike, the first pitch from Willett. And the next pitch from Willett, that's going to be a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. The offering from Willett to Abitz. On deck, Taylor Krieger. And a foul ball. That's going to go behind the Berlin dugout for strike 2. And the way some of the Berlin fans are talking, that must have come close to a car. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the next pitch, and a swing and a miss on the curveball. He chased that one and strikes him out for out number 1, and that'll bring up Taylor Krieger playing first base. Berlin Redlegs is what their uniform says. And Willett with the pitch. And the ball. So 1 ball, no strikes. To Krieger. Krieger, the second batter in the lineup here in the inning. And Willett with the next pitch, and that's in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Krieger has 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out, and wow, what a curveball. That almost looked like it came in like a corkscrew. So that's another strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Krieger. That was an awesome pitch, and this one right in there, and that's going to be fouled away. So the count will hold at 1 ball and 2 strikes for Taylor Krieger. 1 out, nobody on base. Krieger at the plate. Willett with the pitch. And that's going to be high and inside. 4-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So I've seen two different kinds of pitches from Willett tonight, and that's that curveball and that corkscrew that we just saw. And another ball to Krieger for a full count. As it's 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. And a swing and a miss by Krieger. He swung underneath it. So 2 strikeouts here in the top of the second inning by Willett. And that'll be the second strikeout of the game for Willett. And the next pitch, a ball high. 1 ball, no strikes to Buddy. Luke Buddy, the catcher. And he waits for the next pitch, and that's going to be hit out to right field. And it looks like trouble, but Riddick runs it down and gets to it for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning for Ripon, as 2 strikeouts and a fly out to right field. And that brings Ripon up to the plate here, coming up in the beginning of the bottom of the second inning. So at 1.5 innings of play, it's Ripon 1 and Berlin 0. Getting ready to start the bottom of the second inning. First batter up for Ripon will be Adam Sina. Sina playing shortstop tonight for Ripon. He'll be followed by Cameron Hahn. Cameron getting a chance to start tonight. We've got a few Ripon players that are not here tonight. So the first pitch from Hammersma, and that's going to be fouled back and falls right behind the car parked in the parking lot by the shelter back here. Strike 1, and Hammersma with the next pitch, and a swing and a miss by Sina. No balls, 2 strikes to Sina. And Hammersma now with a ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yes, Sina leads it off here in the bottom of the second inning for Ripon. And a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Hammersma gets ready with the pitch. And a strike called. So strikes him out. Looking. First strikeout of the game for Hammersma. As Cameron Hahn, third baseman, will step up to the plate for Ripon. Jackson Banks on deck. So Hahn waits for the pitch, and a swing and a miss by Hahn. Strike one. So the pitch to Hahn, and that one's going to be high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike now. The offering to Hahn. And once again, the pitch. And a ball high. 2 balls, 1 strike to Cameron Hahn. Pitcher in the shadows now. And fouled back. And it looks like that gave our camera a good rattle. Might have to adjust the camera at the break here. But 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss, and that's going to be the second strikeout from Hammersma tonight. This one a swinging strikeout as Jackson Banks plays catcher tonight. This is his, I believe, his 3rd game playing catcher for Ripon. Banks steps up to the plate with 2 outs. Gannon Stelmacher on deck, and first pitch is a ball to Banks. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs, nobody on base. Hammersma with the pitch, and that hit him. Didn't really see where it hit him, but that'll put a runner on base on a hit by pitcher. That's the second time. Last time in the first inning when Willett got hit by the pitcher, he ended up coming around to score. So Gannon Stelmacher, left-hander, steps up to the box and hoping to do a little damage here. Banks on first, and the first pitch a ball to Stelmacher. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Banks on first. And Hammersma with the pitch, and a swing and a miss by Stelmacher. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stelmacher, the last batter in the lineup for Ripon. And Hammersma with the pitch, and that's going to be way high. So ball 2 to Stelmacher. Stelmacher bringing up the bottom of the lineup. And on deck is Mason Killam, the leadoff batter. And another ball. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Gannon Stelmacher. Hammersma with the pitch, and he'll walk Stelmacher. Put runners on first and second now with 2 outs, and leadoff batter Mason Killam will step back up to the plate. This will be his second appearance at the plate. Grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning. So Killam try to bring the runners around if he can. Takes a ball on the first pitch from Hammersma. Been leading 1-0 here in the second inning. Scored 1 run in the bottom of the first and a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike to Killam. Hammersma gets ready with the pitch. Looks the runner down at second and fouled away down the first base line and out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. The count to Killam. As Killam steps back into the batter's box. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Killam at the plate. The pitch by Hammersma. And a swing and a miss is going to end the inning. Ripon strands 2 runners on base and can't take advantage of it. So at the end of 2 complete innings of play, it's Ripon 1 and Berlin 0.
We believe a company, like family, is made stronger when differences are embraced and not condemned. Check out walsworth.com/careers for hiring opportunities. Proud to support Ripon High School.
And Ripon 1. Berlin 4, Ripon 1. Getting ready to start the bottom of the third inning. Berlin leading 4-1 over Ripon. Ripon put a run up in the first inning as Willett came across to score. But Berlin come back in the third inning basically on a whole series of errors by Ripon to put 4 runs across the plate. As Henry Willett will lead things off here in the bottom of the third inning for Ripon. Willett got on a hit by pitcher in the first inning, and that ultimately led to the first score of the ball game for Ripon, as that put him ahead 1-0. Willett with the ball on the first pitch from Hammersma now hits this one foul down the third base line for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Willett. So Hammersma will step back on the rubber on the mound, and Willett will wait for the pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the next one a ball low as it goes into the dirt right in front of the catcher. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hammersma with the pitch, and that's going to be high for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Willett. Willett looking to get things let off here for Ripon. And a ball. So Willett will take a base on balls to start things off here in the bottom of the third inning, as that'll bring up Connor Diedrich. Diedrich flew out to right field in the first inning. So with a runner on base and Diedrich at the plate, Hammersma will make the first pitch to Diedrich. And a swing and a miss by Connor Diedrich for strike 1, and stealing second base will be Willett. Unfortunately, I don't have stats. They don't have season stats that they're compiling. They're just doing stats game to game and not doing stats for the season. So I don't have any stats to be able to share with you. I know Willett has stolen quite a few bases this year. So no balls, 1 strike to Diedrich. And the ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Connor Diedrich, as Willett at second base for Ripon. Hammersma checks Willett at second, and the pitch, as that's going to be 2 balls and 1 strike now to Diedrich. No outs, Willett at second. Diedrich at the plate for Ripon. And he hits that one, and a snag by double play as that went right into the mitt. That went right into the mitt. Berlin thinks the inning's over, but that's only 2 outs. And then they throw it over to second to get Willett out, as he was off the bag too far. And everybody thought that was over the head of the shortstop. He leaped up and grabbed that one for out number 1. Disappointment for Connor Diedrich, and then shortstop fired it over to second base, and they got Willett out as he was too far off the bag, and Brett Bach steps up to the plate and hits this one right up the middle. That's a ground ball. He'll be on with a base hit with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Jacob Riddick. Riddick popped out to the pitcher in the first inning. So Ripon with a chance to bring a run in. Bach at first on the base hit. Riddick at the plate, 2 outs. And that will be ball 1 for Riddick. 1 ball, no strikes. A runner at first. They throw the ball over to first, try to catch Bach off the bag. He gets back in time. 1 ball, no strikes to Jacob Riddick. Riddick waits for the pitch from Hammersma. And that's going to be outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Riddick. Pocket first, no outs. 2 outs. And this one hit over to third. It's knocked down, but first he wants to throw it over to second to put Bach out, but Bach gets there, so that gives Riddick the chance to get on first. And that'll bring up Adam Sino with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Bach in scoring position for Ripon. Base hit could bring him around and bring him home, and Sina takes a ball on the first pitch high. Berlin leading Ripon 4-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the next pitch inside and low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Sina. Brett Bach at first, Jacob Riddick at, Bach at second, Riddick at first. And a ball to Sina. 3 balls, no strikes. As Hammersma behind in the count. And the next pitch. And that's going to be a strike called. Sina could afford to take that one. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. And that's going to be a ball. So that's going to load the bases up on the base on balls for Sina. And coming up to the plate, Cameron Hahn. Sina at first, Riddick at second, Bach at third. 2 outs. And Cameron Hahn at the plate. Hahn struck out in the 2nd inning. Base hit by Hahn will bring in at least 1 run, maybe 2. And that'll be a ball high. 1 ball, no strikes to Hahn with 2 outs. And the pitch. And that's going to be hit over to the shortstop. He'll fire it over to third on the force out, and that's going to end the inning. And Ripon gets the bases loaded up and cannot take advantage. Leave the bases loaded. So at the end of 3 complete innings of play, it's Berlin 4 and Ripon 1.
Ripon Area School District continues to offer the very best educational opportunities to all students. Ripon Tigers are building their future in a high-achieving academic atmosphere, supported by a dedicated professional staff who are passionate about education and are striving for excellence. Come experience what happens when excellence meets innovation.
Remind you that Ripon, their next game will be Thursday next week, July 7th. Ripon will travel to Brownsville to take on Lormira Theresa. First pitch is scheduled for 7 p.m. in that game. And we're ready to get things underway here in the top of the fourth inning as Berlin leads it 4-1. First batter up for Berlin will be Taylor Krieger. Krieger struck out in the second inning for Berlin. It looks like at the end of this half inning I'll have to adjust our camera to get a little brighter picture. Guess I didn't realize it was quite as dark as it is with the shadows coming over the field now. And the first pitch from Willett, a strike. Swing and a miss by Krieger. Missed that ball altogether, so no balls, one strike. Krieger leading it off here in the top of the fourth, and another swing and a miss as he swung under the ball. No balls, two strikes for Taylor Krieger. And the next pitch from Willett, that's going to be outside on the curveball for ball one. One ball, no strike, or two strikes to Krieger. On deck, Luke Buddy. And a swing and a miss. He chased an outside pitch. For strike three and out number one. And that brings up Luke Buddy, the catcher. He steps up to the plate, waits for the pitch from Willett. And the first pitch fouled, hit him in the foot. So Buddy limping around just a little bit, and with one out takes strike one on the foul ball. Willett with the pitch, and that's going to go behind Buddy. That was a wild pitch, comes all the way back to the fence. So one ball, one strike now. The count from Willett. Got the lights on here on the field. So at the end of this half inning, I will adjust the camera so that we have a much brighter picture than what you're seeing now. So another strike to Luke Buddy. One ball, two strikes with one out. And the pitch from Willett, and that's in there, a swing and a miss. And that strikes him out. So two outs now for Berlin, and that'll bring up Landon Keller. Keller struck out in to lead off the third inning. Took the third strike on a called strike as it came over the outside edge of the plate. And that one fouled away for strike one. No balls, one strike with two outs, nobody on base for Berlin. Willett gets ready with the pitch. And that one curves outside for a ball. One ball, one strike now to Keller. On deck, Max Sontag. And the pitch from Willett. And that's fouled away for strike two. One ball, two strikes to Landon Keller. Two outs. Nobody on base. Berlin leading 4-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. Willett with the pitch, and that one half swing. That'll go over to Killam at second. He throws it over to first, and they throw out the runner, the batter, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Ripon. So at the end of 3 1/2 innings of play, Berlin leads it 4, Ripon 1. Getting ready to start the bottom of the fourth inning. First batter up for Ripon will be Jackson Banks. And the first pitch is going to be a ball from Hammersma as he continues pitching for Berlin here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Got our camera adjusted a little bit. We got a little bit brighter picture than we had a little while ago, and this one going to be hit out to left field, and trouble for the left fielder. It goes all the way back to the fence. Rounding is Banks, goes to second, and he's into second on a stand-up double to start things off for Ripon here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That'll bring up Gannon Stelmacher. Stelmacher got on first base on a base on balls in the bottom of the second inning. Ripon trailing 4-1 here to Berlin. In the bottom of the fourth inning, we have a runner on second, and he bunts this ball, heads down to third, or second rather. I can't even know what base he's going down. I apologize. He goes down to first. Banks goes to third. And Stelmacher is thrown out on the bunt attempt, but does move Banks over to third. So that brings up the leadoff batter for Ripon, Mason Killam. He grounded out to shortstop in the first inning, struck out in the second inning, and here in the third inning, hoping to get a base hit so he can bring Banks home. And Banks will get home on a wild pitch by Hammersma. So Ripon puts a run on the board as Jackson Banks comes across to score. And that's going to be 1 ball, no strikes to Mason Killam. Hammersma with the pitch, and that's going to be fouled away, and that'll be strike one for Killam. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Ripon now trailing by only 2 as that sacrifice bunt by Stelmacher brought Banks over to third and fouled away. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count to Killam. I didn't hear a clunk for a car unless that went through the sunroof of my car. Sunroof is open and a strike called for Killam, and that's going to be out number 2, and that'll bring Henry Willett to the plate. Willett got put on base on a hit by pitcher in the first inning, came around to score the first and only run at that point for Ripon, and then grounded out to the shortstop in the third inning. Hits this one over to the shortstop. Shortstop can't handle it. That's going to be a error on the shortstop, and Willett gets on base on the error as the shortstop could not handle that ball. So that brings up Connor Diedrich. Diedrich has a fly ball to right field and then popped it up to shortstop in the third inning. Connor Diedrich playing left field. Willett on base for Ripon with 2 outs. Ripon trailing 4-2. And the ball, the first pitch to Diedrich. 1 ball, no strikes to Connor Diedrich. 2 outs and a runner at first, Henry Willett. Hammersma checks Willett over at first, and the pitch. And this hit out to left field, right over to the third baseman's head. That's going to put Willett on second. He'll round it, but he'll hold up and go back to second. A base hit for Diedrich, and that's going to bring up Brett Bach with 2 runners on base, first and second. Bach has 2 base hits tonight. Got on the first and was stranded there in the first inning. Then ended up getting on first, but got stranded on a putout of Riddick at third. Otherwise, Bach would have come across and scored a run if they hadn't gotten that force out. So first pitch to Bach, a strike. No balls, one strike with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Hammersma checks the runner at second. That's Willett. Now the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball to Bach. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count to Brett Bach, or Louie as I refer to him. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and Hammersma with the pitch. That one's outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike, and Willett goes to third, steals third, and that puts runners at first and third. So you can just about guess that Diedrich will be going down to second to try to get him to throw the ball down there so that Willett can come across and score. And a strike called to Bach. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count to Bach with 2 outs and runners at first and third. Diedrich at first, Willett at third, hoping to bring across 1 more run. A base hit will bring Willett home. And the pitch from Hammersma and Diedrich. Diedrich goes to second as Bach now with a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Question as to whether he went around on the swing or not. Took a check swing, but umpires both said he didn't go around. And high, and that's going to put Bach on a base on balls. So bases loaded for Ripon, and Riddick coming to the plate. Riddick popped out to the pitcher in the first inning, and in the third inning had a base hit. As he got put out trying to go to third on the force out. And this is going to be a high fly ball out to right field. Right fielder comes in, snares that one for out number 3, and Ripon leaves the bases loaded once again. And at the end of 4 complete innings of play, it's Ripon trailing Berlin 4-2.
Hometown Radio is your local source for news, weather, and sports. Tune in and team up every weekday morning on WRPN with Bob Nelson to find out what's happening in your area.
Back here at Barlow Park, Ripon playing Berlin tonight. Ripon trailing Berlin 4-2 here as we start the top of the 5th inning. First batter up will be Axe Sontag for Berlin. First pitch, a strike from Willett. No balls, one strike. You're tuned to Ripon American Legion Baseball on YouTube. I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play, and that ball fouled back and right into Banks. Must have caught him right in the gut the way it looks almost. Doesn't have much protection below the middle part of the stomach down. Not much of a chest protector there for him. So he says he's all right. We'll get things back underway, and we've got no balls and two strikes to Sontag. Sontag leading things off here, and fouls that one back here to the fence. So the count will hold at no balls and two strikes for Sontag. Willett remains on the mound for Ripon. And that'll be a bouncer down the third base line, and it'll be foul. So once again, count will hold at no balls and two strikes. No outs. Sontag leading things off here in the top of the fifth inning. And an inside pitch for a ball. One ball, two strikes to Sontag. Sontag got a base hit in the last inning, and this one is a bouncer foul down the third base line. So our count will stay at one ball, two strikes. Willett gets ready with the next pitch. And that curves back in for strike three. Nice pitch by Willett, getting that ball to come back in. Looked like it was going to be inside, and at the last minute took a curve back in over the plate. So that'll bring up leadoff batter Brock Wildy. Wildy with the fly out to center field. Had a double in the third inning. And starts off here in the fifth inning with, I believe that was a ball, and hits this one foul down the first base line, and that's going to go to the fence. So one ball, one strike to count to Wildy. Wildy steps back into the box. One ball, one strike with one out. And this one, that same pitch, the ball curved back in and caught the outside edge of the plate. Strike two. One ball, two strikes to Wildy, and Willett with the pitch. And that's going to be a wild pitch for ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Willett back on the mound and ready with the pitch, and that's in there, and that's going to be fouled away for a chance to be able to bat some more. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Willett with the pitch. And that's going to go down the third base line, and Hahn lets it go, and that goes out to left field to Diedrich, and a base hit for Wildy starts things off here in the top of the fifth inning. For Berlin. Brings up Wyatt Hammersma, the pitcher. Hammersma takes a ball on the first pitch as we have one out, runner at first. That's Wildy. Hammersma at the plate. And Wildy takes off for second, but he'll have to go back as that ball hit down third base line, foul for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hammersma. Hammersma pitching the distance so far for Berlin tonight. Willett as well for Ripon. Willett told me before the game he was planned to be pitching at least the first 5 innings, so we'll see what happens at the end of this inning. He fires it back over to Bach at first, trying to get Wildy out as he leads off, but he gets back safely. So Willett ready with the pitch and the throw, and that's going to be a pop-up, and coming in is Sina, and gets out number 2 on the pop-up by Hammersma. So Hunter Bow will come up to the plate. Hunter Bow with a pop-up to the first baseman for Ripon. Bach in the first inning took a base on balls in inning number 3. Also scored for Berlin, and first pitch falls away for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs for Berlin. Runner at first, that's Brock Wildy. Bow at the plate with no balls and 1 strike. And the pitch, and that's going to be a ball. High pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike now. The offering from Henry Willett. Wildy leads off at first. Willett checks him, and now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. As Bow will step back up to the plate. And Wildy takes off for second, but that's going to be hit away, foul, out of play for strike 2. As that brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes now. For Bow with 2 outs, runner at first. That's Wildy. So Willett checks the runner at first. And the pitch to Bow, and that's going to be high fly ball to right field, and it'll be out of foul, but Riddick out there to reel that one in for out number 3. And no runs come across for Berlin at the end of 4 1/2 innings of play. Our score remains Berlin 4 and Ripon 2. Once again, we got the brightness adjusted on our camera, so once again you have a better picture. As we get ready to start the bottom of the 5th inning, it'll be Ripon coming to the plate. Ripon hoping to put up 2 more runs to at least tie the score here, 3 to take the lead. And first batter up for Ripon will be Adam Sina. Sina struck out in the second inning, had a base on balls in the third inning. Hammersma back on the mound here in the bottom of the fifth inning for Berlin, and Sina with a ball on the first pitch. And a second pitch from Hammersma, a strike to Sina. And a swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Adam Sina. And a swing and a miss, and that's going to be out number 1 for Ripon. So 1 out for Ripon brings up Cameron Hahn. Hahn playing third base for Ripon today. Hammersma gets ready with the pitch. And a ball to Hahn. Cameron Hahn has a strikeout in the second inning, then had a fielder's choice in the third inning, which ended the ball game. So a ball now to Hahn. 2 balls, no strikes to Cameron Hahn. And the pitch from Hammersma is going to be a ball as well. 3 balls, no strikes. Hammersma steps back on the mound and ready for the pitch to Cameron Hahn. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss by Hahn for strike 1. 3 balls, no strikes. That was a strike regardless whether he swung it or not. At least it sure appeared to be from my angle. And this one going to be high is going to put Hahn on base on a base on balls. So 1 out and a runner on base for Ripon brings up Jackson Banks. Banks had a double in the fourth inning for Ripon. Second inning he got on base on a hit by pitcher. So Banks hoping to be able to move Hahn around. And a strike, the first pitch to Banks. No balls, 1 strike. And we got our scoreboard adjusted to where it should be now, so it does say Berlin 4, Ripon 2. They had Berlin up to 6 at one point. So no balls, 1 strike to Banks. And now a ball and pass, or a wild pitch is going to send Hahn over to second. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Jackson Banks. Hammersma looks Hahn down, and now the pitch, and that's going to be a high pop-up. And that's going to drop foul behind the catcher. That'll be strike 2 for Banks. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs, a runner at second. And fouled away. So Banks, with 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a runner at second base, no outs for Ripon, has a chance to get a base hit and bring Hahn home. And hits that one foul down the third baseline. So the count will stay at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hammersma looks Hahn down, and the pitch, and that's going to be a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Jackson Banks. Two and two, no outs. Hahn at second. Hammersma with the pitch. And that catches the outside edge and strikes him out looking. So that'll bring up Gannon Stellmacher. Stellmacher steps to the plate with 1 out. 2 outs. Sina got the first out on the strikeout. Banks got the second one on the strikeout. And now Gannon Stellmacher at the plate. Cameron Hahn at first. And he fires that one down first base line, and first baseman picks it up, steps on the bag, and gets Stellmacher out. So leaves 1 runner on base for Ripon at the end of 5 complete innings of play. It's Berlin 4 and Ripon 2.
The Ripon Area School District mission is empowering learners, engaging community, and enriching the world. Ripon students follow this in early childhood programs, project-based charter schools, K-12 engineering courses, strong fine arts offerings, extracurricular offerings, and the Start College Early program. Come experience what happens when excellence meets innovation.
Henry Willett will continue to pitch for Ripon here as we start the top of the 6th inning. It'll be Berlin coming to the plate. You're tuned to Ripon American Legion Baseball on YouTube. Ripon American Legion, post number 43. Is Ripon with a 1-5 record coming into this game. I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play, and we should be ready to get things started. And the first batter up for Berlin will be Landon Collada. Collada popped up to the pitcher in the first inning, and then in the 3rd inning, grounded out to second base. Gets things started. He's the 4th batter in the lineup for Berlin. He'll start things off here in the top of the 6th inning. And he hits Collada right in the back. And a hit by pitcher puts Collada on base. So Brady Abitz will step up to the plate. Abitz has a strikeout in the 2nd inning that flew out to right field in the 3rd inning. So no outs, runner at first for Berlin, and Abitz at the plate. And the ball, the first pitch. 1 ball, no strikes, runner at first. Have no outs here. And Willett with the pitch. And a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Brady Abitz. And the pitch from Willett, and over to third base is the hit, so Abitz will get on a fielder's choices. Hahn picks it up, throws it over to second base on the force out. Nice throw by Cameron Hahn over to second base to get the first out. And that brings up Taylor Krieger. Krieger in the second and fourth inning struck out. And that is not Taylor Krieger. They must have a new batter in there, and I was not informed. That is Caden Hill. So Caden Hill with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Hill, a lefty. And Willett throws it over to first. They try to throw the runner out. That's a bits. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss by Hill. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, with 1 out and a runner at first. Ripon trails Berlin 4-2 here in the top of the sixth inning. And a ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering to Caden Hill. Willett with the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. Full count now to Hill. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Willett gets ready with the next pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that's going to make it 2 outs now for Berlin on the strikeout. That'll bring up Luke Buddy, and I think they made another change. Not positive. Let me see the number. Nope, Buddy is up at the plate. So Buddy with a pop-up to left or right field in the second inning, and then struck out in the fourth. Takes the ball on the first pitch from Willett. 2 outs and a runner at second. Buddy at the plate with 1 ball and no strikes. And that's going to be a wild pitch. Gets past Banks, and Abitz will go to second. That puts a runner at second base for Berlin. And 2 balls and no strikes for Luke Buddy with 2 outs and a runner at second. Willett with the pitch. And that was a nice looking pitch. Umpire took a while to make sure he was making the right call, and that was a strike. It sure looked good. 2-1. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. And this one going to be hit over to the shortstop, and Sinek can't handle it, and that's going to put runners at. Oh, they got the runner out at first. He was called out. So a ground out to the shortstop. Fires it over to Bach at first base for out number 3. So at the end, 5 1/2 innings of play, it's Berlin 4 and Ripon 2. coming. The 50-50 raffle winning ticket number is 198655. Please come to the window to collect your winnings. Getting ready to get the bottom of the sixth inning underway. We have a new pitcher for Berlin as Hunter Bowe comes onto the mound for Berlin. Taking his warm-ups, we should be just about ready to get started. First batter up for Ripon will be Mason Killam. Killam grounded out in the first inning, struck out in the second and fourth. So Killam, the leadoff batter for Ripon, will start things off here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Ripon needs 2 runs to tie this game as Berlin leads it 4-2. I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play tonight. And Hunter Bowe gets ready with his first pitch of the night, and that's in there for strike one. No balls, 1 strike to count to Killam. Bowe with the pitch. Looks like Bowe, right-handed pitcher, and that's going to be ball 1, strike 1 now to Killam. And the next pitch. And that's bounced, and it will roll foul for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mason Killam. Killam playing second base for Ripon tonight as Ethan Schuld is out of the game, and another ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Hunter Bowe. And that's hit over to the second baseman. Second baseman corrals that one and fires it over to first base for out number 1. But Killam and all jets firing, trying to get there. So out number 1 for Ripon, and that'll bring up Henry Willett. Second batter in the lineup for Ripon. He came in to score the first run of the night in the first inning. Grounded out to shortstop in the third, and then got on an error in the fourth inning. And takes a ball on the first pitch from Hunter Bowe. Bowe ready with the next pitch to Willett. And then ball. 2 balls, no strikes to Henry Willett. Last game of the season, regular season, Ripon will be at Berlin. And this one hit over to the first baseman. He picks it up, steps on the bag at first for out number 2. And that'll bring up Connor Diedrich. Diedrich flew out to right field, and then in the first popped up to the shortstop. Actually, it was a kind of a steal by the shortstop, as everybody thought Diedrich had a base hit. We thought that was over the shortstop's head, and he leaped up and snagged that ball. And then Diedrich had a base hit in the fourth inning. Takes the ball on the first pitch from Bowe. And another ball to Diedrich. 2 balls, no strikes. So Connor Diedrich steps back up to the plate with 2 balls, no strikes, and 2 outs. Nobody on base, and he takes another ball from Hunter Bowe outside. 3 balls, no strikes. say everything after 2, so we'll see if Ripon can do that. And we got a swing and a miss by Diedrich, and that's going to be a 3 up, 3 down. He must have fouled that ball away. Actually, that's my mistake. It was 3 balls, no strikes. So that's strike 1. Having one of those nights tonight. In fact, I thought the game was in Berlin. I was already in Berlin to set up, but everything was locked up there. So I ended up coming back to Ripon, and here we are tonight. So Diedrich fouls that one away for strike 2 and a full count to Diedrich. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and Hunter Ball with the pitch. And a swing and a miss this time, but he'll get put out, and that's going to be a 3 up, 3 down inning for Ripon. Yes, Ripon brings no runs across. And at the end of 6 complete innings of play, it's Berlin 4 and Ripon 2.
Hometown Radio is your local source for news, weather, and sports. Tune in and team up every weekday morning on WRPN with Bob Nelson to find out what's happening in your area.
Getting ready to start the top of the 7th inning. Berlin continues to lead here 4-2. 7th and final inning, provided Ripon doesn't tie the score. So we have a new pitcher for Ripon, Adam Sina. Willett goes to shortstop for Sina. And the first batter up, Landon Keller for Berlin. Keller takes a ball on the first pitch. Keller struck out in the 3rd inning, then grounded out to second base in the 4th inning. And another ball. So 2 balls, no strikes, the count to Keller. Sina gets ready with his next pitch to Keller. And that one's going to be low for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes now. The count to Keller. Ordered the new accessory I need for my new camera, so hopefully we will have another camera to use by the time the game gets here in Brownsville next week, Thursday. Keller takes a base on balls, and that brings up Max Sontag, the last batter in the lineup for Berlin. No outs and a runner at first. Sontag had a base hit in the third inning, then struck out in the fifth. So here in the top of the seventh inning, Sontag takes a ball on the first pitch from Sina. Sina had a pretty good showing the other night when he was pitching. I believe this is the second time we've seen Sina pitch. And the pitch from Sina, called a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike. The count to Sontag. Runner at first. That's Keller for Berlin. No outs and the pitch, and he goes to bunt that one, and it goes foul for strike 2. Keller was headed for second base. He'll have to come back to first on the foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sontag. Excuse me, that's not Sontag. They put in a new player, and that is Ben Miller. Unfortunately, I get left in the dark when they make changes, so foul ball. It's going to make it the count stand at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Keller at first with no outs for Berlin. Sina looks the runner down at first with the pitch, and that's going to be fouled away. So once again, our count will stand at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Sina with the pitch for Ripon, and another foul ball. Nope. Called it fair. He didn't let it. He touched it before it went out of or into foul territory. If he would have let it bounce into fair territory, it would have been a foul ball. So, correct call by the umpire. Puts runners at first and second with no outs and brings up Brock Wildy. Wildy has a double and a single tonight. Flew out in the first inning to center field. And a strike on the first pitch from Sina. Sina doing a little bit better now that he's gotten a little bit more warmed up. He didn't take as many warm-up pitches as Hunter Bowe did when he came in. And the next pitch, and that's going to be a bouncer over to Willett. And throws it over to third, and they get the lead runner out at third on the fielder's choice. So Wildy gets on first on the fielder's choice. That puts Ben Miller on second. And Keller thrown out at third on the forced play. And that brings up Wyatt Hammersma. And 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Hammersma. One out. Runners at first and second. And the pitch from Sina. That's a ball, and that gets away, and Banks chases it down, but runners will advance. So that'll put Miller at third, Wildy at second, Hammersma with 2 balls and 1 strike at the plate. So Adam Sina trying to get out of this inning without letting Berlin score any more runs. And the ball outside. So 3 balls, 1 strike. The count to Hammersma. Sina with the pitch. And that's inside for a ball. So that should be... Well, now they say it's 3 balls, 1 strike. I don't know how I missed a pitch somewhere in there. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 out and runners at second and third, and the pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball, and Willett can't get it. Hahn can't get it, and a run going to come in and score. That's Miller. Wildy goes to third, and Hammersma ends up at second. So that'll bring up Hunter Bowe now pitching for Berlin. He pitched the bottom of the 6th inning. So our score 5-2 now, Berlin leads. Sino with the pitch and a swing, and that's going to be hit over to shortstop. He fires it over to first, and then wide throw, and that's going to bring 2 runs across on the error. Throwing error by Willett. Brings 2 more runs across and makes it 7-2 in favor of Berlin. So that'll bring up Landon Collada. Berlin has used all their players today on the roster. It's Berlin leading here 7-2. And Bowe steals second. That puts another runner in scoring position with 1 out. Collada at the plate with a 1 ball, no strike count. And the pitch from Sina. That's low. Two balls, no strikes. To Collada. 1 out and a runner at second. And the pitch, low for a ball. 3 balls, no strikes. To Collada. Collada has not been on base yet today. Pardon me, he did get on a base on balls, but then was put out on a force out. So Collada takes a base on balls, and that puts runners at first and second. And Coach Truchinski wants a timeout to go out and talk to his pitcher. And he's going to pull Sina and make some changes out here. So we'll see who comes in to pitch. Looks like it's going to be Kaysen Vandenberg, as that's who the ball was handed to. So Vandenberg will come in to pitch, take over for Sina. So Vandenberg will get time to warm up, and while he does that, we're going to take a break.
Hometown Radio is your local source for news, weather, and sports. Tune in and team up every weekday morning on WRPN with Bob Nelson to find out what's happening in your area.
We believe a company, like family, is made stronger when differences are embraced and not condemned. Check out walsworth.com/careers for hiring opportunities. Proud to support Ripon High School.
Excellence meets innovation at Ripon Area School District through a commitment to continuous quality improvement. Ripon was awarded $1.9 million in grants to expand support for students and their families with school programming and school-based mental health. Come experience what happens when excellence meets innovation.
After our timeout, Case and Vandenberg doing the pitching, and ground ball bouncer to shortstop, and Willett can't handle it, and another run going to come in to score as Berlin takes an 8-2 lead. That'll put runners at first and second as Berlin leads over Ripon 8-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Brady Abitz. And a ball called. 1 ball, no strikes. And this one fouled away for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, runners at first and second for Berlin. So Abitz. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second, and a swing and a miss. And that is not Abitz. That's Caden Hill. Actually, Abitz is the runner at first base. I didn't mark that down. So Hill at the plate. He gets hit by a pitch, and that's going to load the bases up now with 1 out for Ripon. So Luke Buddy will step up to the plate. He'll be the last batter in the lineup here in the inning before they'll start a second time around in the lineup. So strike by Vandenberg to Buddy. 1 strike, no balls. Bases loaded and 1 out. Vandenberg with the pitch, and that's going to be over the shortstop's head, and that's going to bring in 2 runs and put runners at actually 1 run as they get the ball into Banks. Banks tags Abitz out as he's trying to come home for out number 2. Collada comes in to score. So that's going to make our score 9-2 in favor of Berlin. And Banks looks like he might have jammed his thumb perhaps when he put the tag on Abitz for the out. So getting the gear off Banks, and it looks like it's going to be Jaden Trochinsky coming in to do the catching duties for Ripon. He'll come in and get the gear on for Jackson Banks. So Banks hurt. Ripon's starting to get a little banged up here toward the middle part of the season. Not a whole lot of games left, maybe 4 or 5. I can take a quick look here. As after tonight's game, we will have just 4 games left, so it's actually more than, this is about 2/3 of the way through the season tonight. Thursday night, Ripon will go, next week Thursday night, Ripon will go to Brownsville to play Lamira Teresa. And Tuesday, July 12th, Ripon will be at home against Marquezan. Friday, July 15th, at home against St. Mary Springs. And then Monday, July 18th, Ripon will be at Berlin to wrap up the regular season. Ripon has been trying to get some more games in on the schedule, but haven't been able to do that just yet. I'm going to give Case and Vandenberg a few pitches to get Trochinsky warmed up. So we have no balls and one strike to Luke Buddy. That's the count that's up on the board, and 2 outs. Now I guess they're saying that it's no balls, no strikes. So 1 ball, no strike to Buddy. At least I think that's who. Actually, Buddy's on first. And we're back to the first batter that started out things. And that's Landon Keller. So Keller with 2 balls hits this one foul down the first baseline for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two outs. Runners at first and second for Berlin. Keller at the plate. His second time up in this inning, and he'll hit this one a bouncer over to first. Bach will snag that one. Toss it over to Vandenberg at first, and they get the out. Vandenberg coming across to cover the bag, and that'll be out number 3, but Berlin puts up 5 runs to take the lead 9-2 over Ripon here in the top of the 7th inning. So going in to the bottom of the 7th inning, Ripon with some work to do. They trail by 7. You're tuned to Ripon American Legion post number 43 on YouTube. Be sure to join us next week Thursday for a game at Brownsville against Lamira Teresa. And back on the mound for Berlin, Hunter Bowe. First batter up for Ripon will be Brett Bach. Bach has a base hit in the first and third innings and a base on balls in the 4th inning. So we'll see if Bach can get things going for Ripon toward getting runs on the board, and they need 7 runs to tie this game. 8 to win. Play 7 innings in Legion ball as well as high school ball. Catcher calls for balls in, and he'll throw the ball down to second base on this warm-up pitch. And it'll be Bach coming to the plate for Ripon. On deck will be Jacob Riddick. So Bach steps up to the plate for Ripon. He'll await the pitch from Hunter Bowe. And Bowe with the pitch. And that's in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Bach. And Bowe with the pitch. And that's also in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Bach. We've seen Bach hit 2 good balls against Green Lake in the first game of the season here at Barlow Park, all the way back to the fence, but not enough to put him over. 330 feet out to the fence. And a strike to Bach. 2 balls, 1 strike now. The count to Brett Bach. Bach leading off the inning for Ripon. Yes, Jacob Riddick on deck. And he'll hit that one foul. Aiming for cars over there where they're parked. Haven't hit one yet, but there's always that opportunity. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Brett Bach. First batter in the lineup here in the bottom of the 7th inning for Ripon. And a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes makes it a full count to Brett Bach. Bach took a base on balls in his last appearance at the plate in the 4th inning. So Bach waits for the pitch from Bo. And a ball. So Bach will take a base on balls to start things out here in the bottom of the 7th inning for Ripon, and that'll bring up Jacob Riddick. Riddick has a base hit in the 3rd inning. Hoping to get at least a base hit to move Bach around. Here in the bottom of the 7th, and takes a ball on the first pitch from Bo. 1 ball, no strikes. We have no outs. And Bo with the pitch. And that's low as well. 2 balls, no strikes. The count to Jacob Riddick. Bach at first base for Ripon. He got put there on a base on balls. Riddick at the plate with 2 balls and no strikes. No outs on Ripon. And Bo with the pitch for Berlin, and that's going to be a ball as well, low. 3 balls, no strikes. So pretty sure that Riddick will not be swinging at this one. Not unless it's right in there, and it was. Strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike to Jacob Riddick. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Second batter in our lineup here in the inning. And fouls this one away for strike 2. Full count now to Riddick. So Bo ready with the pitch, and that's going to be a ball. So he walks Riddick, and that'll put runners on first and second. Riddick at first, Bach at second for Ripon, and coming to the plate, Kason Vandenberg. He came in to do the pitching here in the top of the 7th inning for Ripon. Came on for Sina. And the pitch from Bo, and that's going to be called a strike on the first pitch to Vandenberg. No balls, 1 strike. No outs, runners at first and second. Bach at second, Riddick at first. No outs. And Bo with the pitch. And a ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Kason Vandenberg. So Bo gets the signal from the catcher and checks his runners. And he'll step off the rubber. He didn't like what he was seeing. Makes the runners go back and tag up again. And Bo once again ready with the pitch. And inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Vandenberg. Pretty blue sky out there right now. And the pitch, and that'll be a ball. That dropped low for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. No outs. Runners at first and second. Bach at first, Riddick at second. The other way around. Bach at second, Riddick at first. 3 balls, 1 strike, no outs, and he walked him. So 3 bases on balls in a row by Hunter Bow. And coach going to come out, and he's bringing in a new pitcher for Bow. Bow frustrated with himself. We'll see who comes in and gets the ball. At least I assume they're making a pitching change. I thought that the coach indicated for a new pitcher, and I do believe. See who, if Bo stays on the mound, or I thought he handed the ball off to somebody, but looks like he's on the mound at the moment. After they break their huddle out there, which they just did, we'll find out who's on the mound. And actually, I think that, nope, that's not Hammersma. I don't think he can re-enter the game, so Ball must have stayed in. So Cameron Hahn at the plate now for Ripon with bases loaded and no outs. And a strike. The call to Hahn. No balls, 1 strike to Cameron Hahn. Ripon trailing 9-2, and the next pitch, a swing and a miss by Hahn. Hard swing by Hahn. Bases loaded. Ripon hoping for a base hit by Hahn. That should bring in at least 1 run. And the ball now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count to Cameron Hahn. Pocket third, Riddick at second, and Vandenberg at first. All got on bases on balls. And hit down the third baseline. Foul for Hahn, and that's going to hold the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. No outs yet for Ripon. Hoping to bring some runners around to score for Ripon. And the pitch high. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bo continues pitching for Berlin. And the pitch. And a swing and a miss by Hahn is going to make it out number 1. And that'll bring up Jaden Traczynski. Traczynski came in during the last inning for Jackson Banks, as Jackson appeared to have maybe jammed his thumb on a tag out at home plate. And Traczynski takes a ball on the first pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out and bases loaded. Base hit will bring a run in. And a strike. Now the pitch to Traczynski. 1 ball, 1 strike. With 1 out, Berlin leading 9-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that one hit down the third base line, but it's going to be a foul ball. Strike 2. Nice connect by Traczynski. Now he just needs to straighten it out. If that would have dropped fair, that would have brought likely 2 runs in for Ripon. On deck for Ripon, Gannon Stellmacher. And a high pop-up, and that's going to be the shortstop going out to the edge of the grass, edge of the out or the infield, and catches that for out number 2. So Berlin 1 out away from winning this game tonight. Gannon Stellmacher steps up to the plate with 2 outs and bases loaded. Stellmacher takes an out. Oh, they called it a strike. Must have been over the outside corner for strike 1. At first it looked from my angle as if it was a strike, or a ball rather. And this one inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike 2 outs and bases loaded for Ripon. And a swing and a miss by Stellmacher is going to make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stellmacher trying to extend the inning for Ripon and bring some runs in. And outside pitch to Stellmacher makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs and bases loaded. Bach at third, Riddick at second, and Vandenberg at first all got on base on balls. And Stellmacher waits for the pitch, pops it up foul. Count will hold it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Stellmacher takes the pitch and 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Stellmacher. Full count. So Ripon with a chance to bring 1 run in. And the pitch from Bo. Runners on the go, and that's going to walk 1 run in as Bach will come across to score on the base on balls to Stellmacher. Runners will advance 1 base. Bases remain loaded, and the batter up for Ripon will be Shea Otto. Otto coming in for Mason Killam. And he pops this one up foul. The catcher back and cannot get it. He overran the ball. So Ripon runners will return to their bases as they were on the run on the hit. Any ball that's hit, Ripon runners are going to be on the go. So Ripon trailing now 9-3, bases loaded, 2 outs. Otto at the plate and hits this one foul as well. So that'll make our count no balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs and bases loaded. Otto steps back into the box, waits for the pitch from Bo. And that's in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher to keep that ball from getting past him. Roll down the third baseline a ways, and so Shea Otto with a 1 ball, 2 strike count, and hits that one down the third baseline, and that's going to be foul. Had to be awful close to the line, but that'll be foul, and the count will stay at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ripon runners all return back to their bases. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Shea Otto with a chance to extend this inning here for Ripon with a base hit. Bring a couple more, one more run in at least. And hits that one over to third base. Third baseman can't handle it. That's going to bring 1 run in. Bases are going to remain loaded for Ripon as Riddick comes across to score. So Ripon puts 2 runs on the board here in the bottom of the 7th inning on the error by the shortstop. Actually, that was the third baseman that created that error. Ball got by him, and that'll bring up Henry Willett. And the pitch from Bo is a ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs, bases loaded. Ripon has put 2 runs up. Ripon trails by 5, 9-4. Ripon trying to rally here as Bo with the pitch. And a high foul ball behind us here into the neighbor's yard behind us. So 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Willett. And Bo gets ready with the pitch. And a swing and a miss by Willett will be strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Willett. We have 2 outs. Runners on all bases, bases loaded. Willett trying to extend the inning here. And a high pitch for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Willett. Henry Willett trying to extend the inning for Ripon. Base hit will bring in at least 1 run, if not 2. As Vandenberg's at third base. And this one's in the ground for ball 3. So full count now to Willett. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, bases loaded. So Ripon making this a little bit of an interesting game. On deck for Ripon, Connor Diedrich. And that hits Willett in the back, and that's going to bring Case and Vandenberg in to score, as that'll move runners around. So Ripon puts another run on the board, making it 9-5, and Connor Diedrich will come to the plate after Willett is hit by a pitch. That'll put Stellmacher on third, Ottawa on second, and Willett on first, and Diedrich at the plate with 2 outs. And he hits this one out to left center field, and that's going to be a base hit for Ripon, and coming around to score. 2 runs will score, and third run coming in, and he's going to get tagged out. So Ripon going to lose the ball game, as Ripon took a chance and tried to bring 3 runs in, as Ripon loses 9-7 to Berlin after a strong rally here in the 7th inning, with Ripon trailing 9-2. So we'll take a break and come back and wrap things up here in just a moment.
Hometown Radio is your local source for news, weather, and sports. Tune in and team up every weekday morning on WRPN with Bob Nelson to find out what's happening in your area.
We believe a company, like family, is made stronger when differences are embraced and not condemned. Check out walsworth.com/careers for hiring opportunities. Proud to support Ripon High School.
Ripon Area School District continues to offer the very best educational opportunities to all students. Ripon Tigers are building their future in a high-achieving academic atmosphere, supported by a dedicated professional staff who are passionate about education and are striving for excellence. Come experience what happens when excellence meets innovation.
Back here at Barlow Park, as Berlin defeats Ripon tonight. Ripon tried to make a rally of it here in the 7th inning, but come up short by 2, and they lose to Berlin 9-7 tonight. Be sure to join us again next week, Thursday, July 7th, as Ripon travels to Brownsville to face Lamira Teresa, with first pitch scheduled for 7 p.m. Thank you to all our sponsors to make this broadcast possible. Be sure to support the sponsors that support Ripon American Legion Baseball. Once again, final score tonight, Berlin wins it over Ripon 9-7. From Ripon, I'm Bruce Link saying have a very happy and safe 4th of July weekend. Thank you for joining us, and as always, stay Tiger proud. Ripon proud.